How to do a real estate wholesale deal in 2019, and shoot, why not before the end of 2018? What is going on, everyone? Devin Can up here with another video. And the Adobe software, obviously, for some reason I just can't download the software. The software is like broken, so we're using my camera's audio for the video. So sorry about that. But inside of here, I'm going to talk about how to do a deal in 2019 or even by the end of 2018, so that way you can have some money in your pocket and basically just go all out inside of this business. Because really, that's kind of the goal with this business. Once you do one deal, then you just keep using that momentum to keep moving forward and keep closing more and more deals. And so this one's gonna be a little bit more of a motivational, but at the same time, I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on what you got to do to go out there and close a deal. And brutally honest with you guys is majority of the time you guys are very overcomplicating the process. It's actually a very simple process, and I think there's too many like little details that you guys are focusing on that really don't matter all that much. And what you really need to be doing are these kind of key principles in order to go out there and close some deals, so that way you can do it very quickly. And what I really recommend, what I think is the most important aspect of this business, is the mental side of things, and kind of breaking through that barrier of what's really possible and what's not possible. And you got to put yourself into a mindset. And so I'm going to use an example of one of my followers that sent me a message, and I thought this would be a great kind of message to base it off of. And so basically, this guy, he's in college, he's trying to do real estate wholesaling, and he's like taking all these different classes, and it was like coincidentally he was in a computer science class. That's the major that I was in college, and then I eventually just dropped out. I was kind of sick of what was going on, and he really wants to kind of follow the path that I've taken of dropping out of school and taking this as like a full-time gig. And so, like, first things first, what I recommend is that you don't just drop out unless like you already have some things in place and you're already making money. I mean, you can drop out and then just hit your face on the pavement because you're just trying to take action and stuff, which is like basically burning the boats, which is probably the best thing that could happen for you. But really what it breaks down to is just figuring out like what you really want to have. Once you know what you want and like kind of what your life needs to look like and how you're going to get there, then that's kind of what really, like, how people take this seriously and are able to go out there and close some deals. So what I really recommend for you guys to do is kind of figure out what your motivation piece is. What's your why? If it's you don't want to be living the slave 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life, and you want to be able to just enjoy your life and be able to do things that you want, and just be able to live in like a cool apartment and go out there and do cool things or buy nice houses and just kind of do whatever you want and not really have to worry about what you're doing that day. Basically, you just your life's basically like your income side of things, your financials are on autopilot, and you kind of just live the life that you want. Then really just set forth that goal that's what you're trying to achieve. If like you're the same situation as this follower, you're in school and you hate it, you don't want to go down that path, have this imagery of why you hate it so much and just keep thinking about how dreadful this situation is. Maybe even like over exaggerate a situation so that way it seems even a little bit worse than it actually is. Kind of make it feel like it's hell. I know this seems a little bit counterintuitive, but what this will do is kind of put a fire up under your butt and motivate you to keep going out, like go out there and just do whatever it takes to go out there and do a deal. And honestly, when I was in school, I was doing deals. Like I just had a friend over, and we're actually going to be doing an interview tomorrow. It's going to be an awesome video. Make sure you check it out. But basically, I was doing deals while I was in class. Like I would get phone calls from sellers, and I was doing deals. Like I'd have to leave the class, answer the call from the seller, do the deal inside of there, and then go back to class and then just be like, oh my gosh, this is stupid. Like I'm learning nothing inside of this class. Like I was learning some stuff, but nothing that really mattered to me. And that really kind of got me motivated. I was wanting to talk to sellers and go out on appointments as much as possible and miss class, just so that way I could really just get going with business side of things. And so what you really need to figure out is what's your why. I think that's the most important principle. On top of that, you really got to simplify things down, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and what you really need to focus on. But I think the biggest part of like any business in general, and especially this business, is you gotta treat it like a real business. Like if you were to start up like a restaurant or some sort of like actual brick and mortar store, like let's say it costs you like $50,000. That's probably pretty low as to what it's actually going to cost you. If you spent $50,000 starting up this business, you're going to treat it like a business, obviously. And so you got to treat this business the exact same way. Obviously, the difference is it doesn't really cost that much to get into it, but don't let the cost side of things fool you. You got to actually like take it seriously and treat it like a real business, and pretend like you're basically like you burn the boats starting up that restaurant. Treat this business the same exact way. Maybe give your friend like give a family member, somebody that you really trust. If you have like a lot of money or a decent amount of money, have them like take all that money from you and just hold it off to the side, or put it into a savings account tucked away that you don't really have access to, or give someone like, just get it out of the sight. So that way basically all you have to do like in order to keep surviving is to go out there and close a deal. I don't know, do whatever it takes to motivate yourself to go out there and do a deal. And I always instill this imagery inside of whenever I'm talking to my students to have when it comes to closing a deal. Like imagine a van drives by, picks up your family and drives away, like, and they leave you there. And then you get a phone call from the people that took, like, just basically just abducted your family, and just imagine them saying, hey, we're gonna like kill your family, or like, I know this sounds horrible, like just trust me, or like something's gonna happen to your family unless you go out there and do a real estate wholesale deal in the next 7 days. If that actually happened, you would do whatever it takes to go out there and close a deal. You're not going to be worried about like what's going on with the Kardashians, or you're not going to be checking your Instagram feed all the time or anything like that, or you're not going to just let your neighbor walk by and just hang out with them. You're going to tell them that you're busy, and you're going to be doing whatever it takes to go out there and do a deal. So kind of whatever it takes to picture this inside of your head. It's obviously a little bit different from everybody, and some people just want to make money, so kind of create some sort of like fake mindset of like that something's going to happen if you don't do a deal. It's kind of like I've been corrected on this many times. It's a Julius Caesar quote, where basically in order to take over the island, you got to burn the boats. And so do whatever you can to like instill this imagery of burning the boats. And if the boats are already burned, perfect. And just really leverage that situation. Give yourself no out clause. Give yourself no ability to back out of this circumstance, and basically force yourself to go out there and do a real estate wholesale deal. And once you have this mindset, it's actually pretty simple, and you're gonna figure out what the basics of the business are, and you're really gonna keep it simple. And like I'll even break it down inside of here for you guys inside of this video, so that way you can go out there and close a deal ASAP, hopefully before the end of this year, at least in 2019. I really recommend you try to do a deal before the year ends, as kind of like a goal, mindset, whatever you want to take it as. And so what you need to do is focus on the basics of the business. The basics of the business is finding discounted properties and selling these discounted properties. That's it. Those are the most important part of this business. And so if you really focus on finding discounted properties, that's really all that this business is. It's just finding people that are willing to sell their house at a discount. And these people that are willing to sell their house at a discount are motivated sellers. And I might actually make a video where I list off like 100 different reasons why someone's motivated. I think that would be kind of a funny, like a good piece of content, and entertaining in a sense. So really just, you got to find motivated sellers. Figure out why people are motivated. Get used to talking to sellers. Just involve your life around sellers. And once you're around these circumstances, people selling their house, and just around properties, and just working with people, like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but basically working with sellers and trying to help them out, that's where you're really going to have success. It's not really from all these like little things of having to know knowledge in different aspects. Yeah, maybe it's going to help you speed up have less failures, but I think these failures are going to be the best thing that ever happens to you. Honestly, like content of you just watching this video and watching like all these other different videos from all these other different people that are putting out content isn't really going to do you too much good versus actually going out there and taking massive imperfect action and failing forward. So what I really recommend you guys to do is just keep it simple. And then once you get a discounted property, you just got to find someone that's willing to buy the property, which that part and that side of the transaction is honestly the easiest part. It's basically like you saying, hey, here's $1, I'm going to charge you 70 cents for it. So really don't worry too much about the buyer side. It's basically, like I said, at the end of the day, just finding people that are willing to sell their house at a discount. Just really hyper focus in on that, and really that's all you need to go out there and do a deal. And then if you like have any and then you run into a problem with a certain circumstance, then you just Google it, like search it up on YouTube. Google that answer when you run into the problem. Don't be like trying to figure out solutions before these problems ever happen. I mean, yeah, like you may be able to get advice from somebody that's going to help you speed up this process, but a lot of the advice out there that's free content, or people that are out there giving free advice, it's a little bit scattered and mixed and may not be the perfect for that exact solution that may actually come up. So you really never know, and it's really hard to actually prepare for what's going to actually happen. And really, like I said, the only way to actually know what's going to happen is from going out there and facing it yourself. So really, like, this is kind of more of a little bit of a motivational video, and I really wanted to tie this in because I've been kind of really providing you guys all the resources and all the tools lately. And so I figured this was a good fit because, yeah, all these tools that are out there that are they're really useful in the content that I put out there. But it really doesn't mean anything if you don't take any action on it. So if you want to close the deal by the end of 2018, if you want to close the deal in 2019, which is still going to apply maybe even in 2020, 2021, 2030, really, what you need to do is go out there and take action, figure out why you're doing this, keep it simple, and take massive imperfect action and fail forward, and basically just put a fire under your butt and just give yourself no excuses not to go out there and do a deal. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I highly appreciate it. And if you haven't already and you enjoyed today's content, make sure you join the fam, join the game by hitting the subscribe button down below. And like always, please make sure you smash the like button. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And like always, I am uploading every day. So I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.